Hi everyone, we welcome you all to this week Tech Tuesday webinar on C360 SaaS, Automate Match Strategy and Survivorship. Today's speaker is Kamal Abrol, who's a Principal Solutions Architect from CSM team. Before we start the session, let's go through some of the housekeeping tips. The webinar is for 1 hour that includes 15 minutes Q&A. You can post your queries in Q&A box which will be answered at the end of the presentation. All participants will be muted during the presentation. The session will be recorded and it will be available on our InfoSupport YouTube channel and Success Portal where you will be able to download the slide deck. Please feel free to submit your suggestion or feedback for this session in the post-webinar survey. The Success Portal is a micro-learning platform that offers free, unlimited learning to all the registered users. This feature-rich platform helps you learn and adopt to Informatica products better. The following are few important links that you can go over later. This will help you in your product adoption journey with Informatica. Over to you, Kamal. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tech Tuesday webinar hosted by Informatica. I am Kamal Abrol, part of customer success team, and the topic of discussion is match and merge offered by MDM SaaS, powered by Informatica. So we'll see why we need matching, what are the strategies of deduplication, and our recommendation when you should utilize what strategy. Okay, so we'll start with a very layman, and then so that we can connect with each other, and then we'll see the critical services offered by MDM SaaS in the matching area, right? And survivorship, their conflict resolution rules, understanding the importance of data quality when during the merging scenarios, and match and merge and manual reviews via workflow. So all this will be supported by the live demos. So stay tuned, and hope I could do justice to your time as well. Move. So like I said, we'll start with a very basic why we need matching. So every enterprise have multiple source systems, right? And every source system will have some sort of records, and there can be multiple variation of same records, right? So John Smith and John SMYTH are same personality but having different version of their information, right? And so there can be phonetic variations, misspellings, typos, right? So all this arise a need of matching, right? And once you match, you need to merge as well into a single golden record, and that's what we call match and merge. So merging can be automatic by the MDM system. It needs a review by our business, by the business as well, and there can be false matching also, like not a best match pair, so you can skip as well, where you don't think highest conviction of probable duplicates. Right, you can skip those scenarios, right? So I'll move. So yeah, strategy in terms of and what are our usage devices also. So match strategy first, I will provide you some insights. Like it can be deterministic matching and it can be probabilistic matching as well, right? And deterministic, wherein you see a database kind of match like ID to ID or postal codes, or right. So there you can use the exact matching, and wherein there can be addresses, there can be name of peoples with typos, organization names, typos in the addresses, so coordinates. So there is a need of probabilistic matching, what we call fuzzy matching, right? So multiple type of errors, like you have seen phonetic variations, misspelling, transpositions. There is a need of fuzzy matching. Now once we are done with the match pairs, we have the matched set of pairs. How to merge it? What are the strategies of merging? So there can be merged by the system, that is auto merging, wherein you think merging via social security numbers and passport numbers. So definitely two persons cannot, two different person cannot have a same SSN, right? So a system automatically merges those records, right? For manual merging, yes, there can be scenarios, right? Like business want to take a decision whether these two records are accurate match or not, and they should take a decision whether to merge or not. So manual review and merge strategy can be deployed, like 4 people having the same address although they are different people. So these are so there can be false matching identified by the system. So there can be manual merging scenarios, which is also supported, and your stewards or business can take a decision on top of it, right? And threshold based matching, like most typical and most common as well, which is deployed by the customers. Like you think more than 90% of matching scenarios should be covered by the auto merging, and between 70 to 90% business needs to review and take a decision whether to merge or not, right? And below 70% we would like you to skip as a part of those are not the highest conviction of matching, right? So you can skip also. So these are the 4 strategies, right? Again, I would say this 2 slides is just for me and you to connect, and just for warm up, let's move to some more critical stuff offered by Informatica MDM SaaS is the critical services, right? So up till now, I think what I've spoken, you might have heard also, but these are something new and exciting stuff, wherein Informatica MDM SaaS has come up with 4 services like match config service, index service, training, generate pair generation, right? So these are part of matching services, right? Wherein we used to configure the rules as a part of modeling rules, what we call. There can be declarative rules, which I'll be showing you in the next couple of slides. And there can be machine learning rules, there can be selection criteria, right? And in the index service, we used to generate the tokens for the initial set of records, right? And finally, we run the matching supported by the SSA name3 engine, right? And so that are nothing but your deduplicate record by creating the match pairs. Okay, I'll move. All right, let me take you to the altogether the application. Okay, and let me show you how this services looks like, and I'll first be speaking more about the match config service. That is nothing but our match modeling, right? I've logged into a Business 360 console chiclet. Like we have multiple chiclets, multiple services in terms of MDM area, customer 360, data quality, business 360, multi-domain. Okay, so I've logged into Business 360. So let me go to the person business entity. So here there is a match block, right? So we'll go to the match modeling, what we call match config area. So these are different set of out of the box rules provided as a part of MDM application. So I'll use any one rule, like match rule, what a person, right? So if you see over here, we have, let me just try to show. So what is a type of rule? Like the objective is to resolve the duplicates, right? And data belongs to multiple countries, so we have different population. Default population would be US. You can have country specific matching, right? And across countries also, right? So data can belong to different countries. So default population is USA, and we have candidate selection criteria, like on what field you need to run the matching, field type. This is a part of your name3, SSA name3, like in the on-prem version also. So wherein on the name you use a person name, for name and address you use different type of field types, right? Provided over here. So okay, so it depends. Also a key generation level. So standard, what kind of tokens you need to generate, whether optimal number of tokens can be stated as standard. There can be extended high number of tokens, so it will have high number of matching pairs. So limited token, very much limited tokens, so very much few matching pairs. So we typically use the standard uh, as a category, and even the candidate search level for blocking. Uh, so this is exhaustive, extreme, right? Very much narrow. So depends how extensive you want to do the matching and how extensively you want to do the tokenization, right? And I'll go to the declarative rule. So it can have again different types of declarative rules. So I'll edit and I'll try to show you if I can. Yeah. So this is all match config service, and let me just try to create. So match strategy can be exact and fuzzy, like I was talking. So uh, like I was talking, we have 4 types of merge strategy. It can be automated, like I explained. Uh, System will automatically do that. It can be threshold based, like 0 to 50. You don't need to do the merging. It will not be a highest conviction of match between 51 to 89. You can do a steward review, and after beyond 90, you can do the automated merge, right? So it depends what kind of matching you're doing on, or organization or person name. You can select that, and this is very much critical area wherein you select the typical to get the optimal number of matches. Lose, you want more matches. More matches, right? Which can be, some can be false matches also. It will be loose, and conservative, very stringent matches. So generally we use the typical to get the optimal number of matching areas, right? Matching records, right? And there is a machine learning model also, like which allows you to train your data to become more effective in terms of finding the probabilistic or deduplicate matches, right? Machine learning we are not covering today. We'll be covering the data, declarative and the configuration part. Okay. So let me just take you to the deck once again. Okay, so we have covered right now the match config service. Let's go to the match index service. So whenever data is getting ingested, the initial state of the once it is ingested into the MDM area, staging area, the initial state or the consolidating indicator will be match underscore dirty. So once it is bind up with the index configuration, right? So the records will be indexed. Okay, so that is a token generation step. So that is called match indexed as a status, right? So that is an ingress job. So first it loads the data within the MDM. It applies the index configuration. It indexes the data, and finally it generates the tokens. So this is a part of your match index service, and that's why what I hope you understand the relevance of match index service also, and we'll see as a part of ingress demo also. Move. So this is a import flow diagram, like how the ingress is happening, how the inbound integration with MDM is happening, right? And first load, then index, then finally tokenize it. That will be a prerequisite for matching and to get the required matching pairs. And so indexing is done, tokenization is done. That is a part of your ingress flow, import, file import flow, or any kind of import like batches or incremental data, right? So up till here we have tokenized the records, right? Not matched or not merged. Let us see from the demo as well, live demo. I'll show you how it happens, right? And so I have logged into the customer 360 chiclet, customer 360 service. Okay, and we'll show how we can import the data within MDM. So there can be numerous options, right? So, but I'll show the file import feature of customer 360. That is the UI of your MDM SaaS application. And let me share you some of the data which I'm trying to load is this one. Okay, Kamal dash, and another data would be this one, Kamal dash. So there are some kind of typos in the addresses also, names also, okay, coming from two different systems. Okay, and we'll see over here. Load the first file. Okay, this is nothing but coming from SAP. I'm treating as. Yeah, it's loaded now. And now we can select. I have saved mapping just to save our time. Person mapping. Map the inbound records into MDM. So the P key, mal dash, right? So that's all mapped. Import it. For job. So got started. Take around maybe the records are less. It should not take more than 30 seconds. I think if you see over here, the two records has been loaded, right? Two success rows and tokens as well as a part of inbound ingress. So it's all indexed and tokens also generated with success and everything will be displayed, right? So this is one, and let me try to import another file also. From, let's suppose, Salesforce. Almost similar records but different variations with same, I think, date of birth, name, right? Yeah, this loaded, and let me apply the same thing. For 30 seconds. Okay, still the time it is loading. Let me show you. So we have loaded from two different systems. So there can be different set of matching. It can depend upon the similar name and matching identifier, similar name, address, or birth date. So we have ranked. First, this rule will get executed, then this rule, then this rule. So we have ranked. So you, like I show you one of the typical rules, like similar name and same phone number. Can see over here we have given the auto merging threshold also between 90 to 100, and person name should be fuzzy matching and phone number should be identical exact matching, right? So you can define as you want. You have different fields. So this all configuration, like the match level which I explained you in the beginning, it is typical to get the optimal number of matching. So similarly, we can have a name, address, and date of birth. So now if you see over here, we have identical country, state, and date of birth for the exact matching, and person name and addresses can contain the typos mostly. So we have the fuzzy matching as a part of right. You can have this kind of rules, and let's see, it should have match. Yeah, so it's generated, and okay. Now ingress is done. We have transformed, we have loaded the data within the MDM, we have generated the token. So up till now, match index service is done, right? We have seen the import flow diagram. Take you the thing. We have seen the ingress demo right now. So So whenever data gets ingested, like I said, it will be in the matched dirty status. Consolidation indicator or state will be match underscore dirty. So whenever we perform the indexing on top of it, it is called match indexed. And any update on top of indexed data again put the status of the record to be matched dirty. Similarly, after indexing, once the matching is done, which I'll show the demo in the next slides, uh, then the status changed to matched, and any update on the existing matched records again put the data into the matched dirty status, so that we can follow the same process to perform the matching and the indexing. So whenever any change, any update, the data would be match underscore dirty, right? And finally, once we are matched and merged, the data will be golden master record, that is consolidated information, right? That is the output what we are providing. And any update on top of the final golden records, it happens, right? It's a common use case. So again, it will have to start from the match underscore dirty, then indexing, then match. So this is the cycle. This is the state management, very much critical to understand how MDM record state evolved within the application, right? Now we come to another service called match pairs service. So we have the match data index, like we have seen, we have imported the records within the MDM, right? And now we want the records to be matched based on the rules which we have defined as a part of match model, which we have shown you on the system, right? So once the index data is uh, combined with the match model, right, we run the match job, so we get the pairs, like record one match with 4 or 2 with 3, so it's backed up by the SSE name 3 engine, and the status will be matched. We'll see how it happens. So that's a match pair service come into action, right? And this is a critical screen, right? So up till now we have done the import within the MDM, and we have configured the rules also, but we haven't done the matching. So let's do the matching in a couple of slides, and let's see how these pairs get generated and how we can do the overall matching engine and match job, how we can trigger the match jobs, right? What kind of automate merging, what kind of manual reviews would be needed. So let's okay, now we'll again get to the system to see how we can run the match job and how we can get the matching pairs, right, as a part of match service, right? And but your match merge job you need to run to get the match records, because up till now we have just imported and indexed the records. We haven't run the match engine altogether, right? So I'll give something else. Something, anything you can give. So need to select the process that is MDM match and merge. We have already created just to save the time. Select the process with whether we want to match only, merge only, or match and merge both. Select the business entity, that is the person for which we have imported the data. I'll select the rule also. I'll select one rule. We can save and run. I'll just run it. It's running now. Okay, so it started running. We'll see how it's matching and what is the output we are getting, right? Usually it takes some time, but not much. Okay, so till the time it is running, let me take you to the survivorship, right? Because after matching, you need to understand which record it will be survived, right? It's not altogether automatic. It needs some kind of rules, survivorship rules, right? Let's see the survivorship concept the time this matching is happening. Right. So this is a survivorship area, right? If you can see, so there are definitely common use cases wherein you get multiple matching pairs and you want to decide which is the best matching pair, which record should survive, right? Which source system should be most trusted, right? Uh, and if the highly trusted source system has the valid data, right? It doesn't make sense if your system, which you are defining as the most trusted, have the null fields and you're making that null field. If yeah, so if the records are not valid, you have to downgrade the trust score, so data quality comes into action. So answer to all these questions come from the survivorship rules, right? So we have field level survivorship, we have block level, document level. So if you say think about field level, so sometimes we need to check whether name should be picked from XRF1 like SAP. It should be picked from Salesforce, which is most trusted, right? So we define all those kind of rule as a part of our field level survivorship. Sometimes we need to complete the whole underlying group altogether, like XRF should one, so Toronto on will one. So let me take you to the exact rules. How we can configure the DK, how we can configure how we can rank the source systems, right? So we need to understand like Salesforce is the most trusted or SAP is the most trusted, right? Whether before that over here, okay. So survivorship configuration, what is that? So we define attribute specific ranking, source system ranking, and the DK configuration. I'll show you how it happens. So there are some concepts where, okay, before that, let me take you to the screen itself. So how it happens actually. Here we have the survivorship tab over here. Okay. So if you see, we have, this is the field, okay, and these are the source system. I've ranked this as customer 360 as one, Salesforce as two, right? And on top of it, I can define the rules as well. Like first name should be picked from customer 360, the first preference, if the data is valid, right? So all those, so there's DK configuration also. Like for customer 360, what should be my minimum trust score or maximum trust score, right? And it has to be DK specific, like rapid initial. We have different type of, right? So it will be by 10 year, it will decay. This system will going to decay its trust, right? So this is how you can configure it. Although over here, I'll not stretch over here because point which I'm trying to make over here is we have attribute specific source system ranking and source system specific. We have DK configuration so that you can have the highest trust uh, in while merging the records, right? You need to understand what are the trust scores. Right? Okay, I'll directly move. Now this is the survivorship configuration. I'll directly move. Again, how we can configure it and what are the convictions rules when it will be triggered. So if the survivor configuration doesn't exist, it happens, the trust score will always be zero. So you make sure this configuration should exist and it will be executed on the source ranking rule, like the rank we provide to the source that will take the preference in getting the merge preference while merging, right? So when trust calculations are triggered, whenever there are any upset on the records on the XREF, there will always be a trust recalculation. Whenever there will be manual override or survivorship override, configuration override, whenever data quality rules are being downgrading the trust scores, right? So always trust calculation will be triggered. conflict resolution. So there are chances wherein there are conflict between the two survivor records. Like if I talk about, there are multiple xref. So they act as a, like, source ranking rule will act as a tie break rule in case of multiple records from different source systems have the same trust score, right? So the source system with the highest ranking will be given the preference, right? In case there are multiple xrefs, cross references having the same trust score, then last updated record will be the highest, will survive with the highest preference and will be the golden record. Even the last update date is same, then the highest database ID, that is our Mongo. If even the Mongo ID is same, then it will be an element ID. That is our internal to our system, but that's how we pick the winning element in the multi-value field, and that is the concept of our survivorship. That also happens whenever you try to build this match, merge, and iterative rules. These things will definitely, sometimes it happens because it depends upon the data, right? How much trust score, a lot of factors on the how you will identify the trust score. I'll show you. Very interesting scenario which I was trying to make you understand why validation is prerequisite to MDM. Why you cannot directly ingest the data within MDM, why you need data quality, right? So we have, this is a critical slide if you just try to see over here. So we have two scenarios. I'll take merge scenario, right? Customer 360 is the most trusted source we have identified as rank 1, like you can see over here. We have identified rank 1 as the customer 360 source. Okay, now CRM is the next source, but what if record coming from customer 360 source? So CRM next trusted source, right? But what if, like I said, record coming from the most trusted source is null? So will you going to survive those record? No, no chance. So you have to trust the less trusted, so that is CRM, because it contains at least the data. It's not null, right? So TQ validation is must. You have to downgrade the trust score of that specific field which is coming from customer 360, but because it contains null data, right? So downgrading the trust score is very important during the auto merging scenarios, right? Okay, so this is the match merge flow diagram which we'll be seeing right after, right? How we have matched multiple version of records, how it is merged, right? And then finally indexed. So let's see over the demo itself how it happens. Okay. All right. So if you remember, we have just ran the match merge job and completed, right? Just before the slides. It's completed. Let's see whether we got some output on the, oh, we can download the files also. So there are total 12 pairs which have been matched and merged. There would be some existing data within the system. There would be new data which is coming out of the system. So data coming from multiple sources, right? So we'll see over here. So like we have Kamal dash with Kamal dash. So these are all typos, all matched with different, same number of phone numbers, and even the rule is shown over here. So let's see how we can visualize over the screen. So it has been merged as well, and auto merging happened because it is having the highest conviction, because the rules because they have the same mobile number, I guess. Over here, phone number, match, which match rule has been executed. We have the identifier, even the identifier value is same. We have the same mobile number all across. So that's why it is auto merged. Let's see how we can visualize it. So up till now we have ingressed the data, we have matched the data, we have merged the data, but what is the output we are getting? We have loaded, I think, Kamal dash, and and another set we have loaded coming from multiple systems, right? This Kamal dash. Let's see now the output. Okay, let me just search the dash so that I land up to the correct records. So we have dasha and dash. Okay, so we have loaded multiple records, but it's consolidated into a single record. Let's see where are other records gone. Here, I think 4 records. Right, so see over here a multiple record, but it created the single consolidated record coming from multiple systems. So we loaded from Salesforce, SAP, right? So it deduplicated it, match, merge, and finally found the single golden record, right? And over here, if I show the trust scores, so these are the trust scores, how it is identifying the maximum, right? So that's why see our addresses also we have. For this, I said trust configuration. If survivorship configuration not there, it will be trust score would be 0. So it depends how you configure, and it's an iterative process. Let me tell you, and it's very interesting, and you'll get a wonderful output once you start tweaking the match configurations and get the data. So we have the data right now, and we have the consolidated version of Kamal as well. Like if I show you over here. So there is only one Kamal, not all Kamals. So what we have ingressed into the MDM. Okay, so this is the power of match and merge. Okay, but this we have auto merged, right? Based on the rules. But there are cases, definitely there are cases where business needs intervention. They want to check whether it's a correct matching happened or not by the MDM system. So we'll see now how you can manually review the things, and Steve would review it. They will approve the merge, then only approval merge happens, right? So that is manual review workflow, right? So we have the 1-step approval workflow, 2-step approval, can have additional steps like you see there is a matching happen, but you want some human to take a decision. So we have to create the business event first. That is the 1-step approval workflow. And then we generate the merge task job, like we do the match task job for manual reviews. So once these jobs are triggered, we get to see the task. So each task we can open and see whether it is a good match or not. If it is not a good match, you can reject it. If it is a match, you want to send it to your manager to get it approved, you can send it. So these are the kind of reviewer act upon the merge task and take a decision wisely. So there are not, like if you are loading 5 million records, there are no way you would be reviewing not even half of a million records, right? There are very few scenarios where you need human intervention. That is the scenario which I'm covering. That is the generate merge task scenario, right? So this is how it happened, and you need to create the business event and the generate merge task, like I've shown you, right? And this will allow you to create the manual review easily by your data steward. Your steward can log in, and the task, your master record approval task can be assigned to any steward, any role. It's customized, right? So high level steps to configure the match and merge, which we have discussed and today. So first you have to configure the source system, right? We have configured SAPs. I've configured, dummy sources from the Excel file. We have original sources also, which we can pull the data using the connector. We need to configure survivorship, set the trust levels for each source system, source ranking, and the decay configuration. Create the validation data quality rules. If you think invalid data is coming from highest trusted source system, then you need to downgrade the trust scores. Create the match rules, like I said, typical, stringent, loose, extended, all those declarative match rules on specific fields. Run the match and merge jobs, and finally you can review the sum of your data from your bigger chunks of data which you have ingested, and you can even drive the data through the workflows that is a part of MDM SaaS, right? So what we have seen, we have already seen the demo of match and merge. We have already seen what has happened and how we can visualize the final output, final consolidated view. So would encourage any questions you have, you can feel free to write, to ask on matching, merging. This is one of the most critical topic in any MDM project, and this is like you say, the output actually do the wonder to the entire enterprise, because it consolidates the best version of record from n number of systems you integrate with MDM, or yet to be integrated with MDM in future as well. So this topic I thought to choose and present you, so that you can get at least insight of SaaS MDM matching services, right? And any questions, feel free to ask. We would be happy to answer. You can write over the chat. Thank you.
Hi all, we have reached the Q&A part. Please post your questions so Kamal can answer.
Hi, so there is one question. Is there a migration path from on-prem MDM to cloud MDM? So we have our internal team and those who evaluate the on-prem solution which you have deployed, and there must be some customizations also, right? I mean procedures, and after post-evaluation we can tell you whether you should go with the fresh start with the MDM SaaS or we can migrate. So hope I answered this question. And next is, what would the mechanism to expose the REST API? Are the REST API customizable? So Swagger is there, right? And REST API wouldn't be customizable. You would be having all those CRUD, ingress, egress APIs, which is the need of our. But if there is anything which you want to access, not from the metadata, but from the actual set of records, and you are not able to, do let us know. Do reach out to our support team. We'll get our product management involved. But most of the, not most, according till date, like all of the scenarios are covered by REST APIs. Okay. Where do we set the survivorship? So like I've shown you in the demo also, so you can set in the business 360 console under the business entity. So it's straightforward. We have clear-cut documents also available. So you can go through it under the business 360 console. Look for the documents. You'll get it easily. We have another question. Both auto and manual merges be applied on same set of records? No, either it will be auto merged or it will be manual, or it will be set for manual review, right? So settings, rule settings will be applicable to all. Now, if auto merging is not going to happen and it lies in the threshold range of manual merging, then either record should go for manual merge or either record should go for auto merge. So it depends upon the threshold which the record meets. So once you configure the threshold based merging, you will get to know how it is done, when auto and manual merging will be applied, not simultaneously, but one at a time. So another question, just like MDM on-prem, if we have to configure the page for merge task workflows. So merge task, what I understand is the manual review, right? So the additional workflows are customizable, but to a certain limit, right? So again, I would say you can reach out to us to understand what are your use case and whether it can be done out of the box or something need to be additionally customized, so we can guide you from there. So configuring the merge task, it again depends what type of configuration you are looking. It's just a screen configuration, yes, then it's possible, but we can understand your use case. So you can reach out to our CSM or support team. They can help you guide to the correct team member from Informatica who can guide you. Okay, is SaaS necessarily on public cloud? Is there any managed service option available on private cloud? No, you see, when you say public cloud, I am not specifically, like, I am not 100% confident what is the intent of this question. So SaaS, your database will be isolated, right? Your Mongo configuration, everything will be isolated. So it's not all public. So it's on AWS, right? So what are the equivalents of user exits? So we have around we have extensions also, Salesforce, SAP licenses. So not specific to user exits, but up till now, the use case which we have seen are mostly covered within the tool itself. So we don't recommend you to go with the user exit like we were going earlier. So it's customizable from the CEI side as well, right? So use the REST API, consume as much as possible to the best possible extent. Okay, next question. A lot of questions are there. Can we host all the IaaS services on custom cloud? No, we recommend you to go with AWS. We have hosted that. So we hosted everything over AWS. How can we leverage out of the box household match configuration to establish relationship between customer? Household match. So we have provided enough rules, and go to the match rule settings, right? There you will be finding household match configuration rules, maybe same address within the same household, right? So those can be identified. So look at the rules which you have provided as out of the box, and you can reach out to us also, right? If you want to, if you're looking for a specific scenario and you're not able to retrieve the rule what we have provided, so we can help you in establish the rule also. and there is a clear 360 relationships also, like how particular members within the same family related to each other, bounded by the same address or their surnames, right? So those are all a part of rules. Okay. Still, if you have any question, I am there for next 5 minutes. You can ask, and you can write to me also or Informatica team if you have specific questions where you need more assistance, right? So we'll be able to redirect you to the correct team member, correct team. Till the time questions are coming, I would strongly insist you to explore this match and merge of C360 SaaS with fewer set of record. Just explore the rule settings, configuration, the output you will be getting. Show to your management how easy it is to configure it, right? So there is one more question. Can we use child columns in the parent table match model? Yes, so we can do matching on like a person name combined with the address, right? So person name is having a specific product or belonging a same phone number. So address, phone number, all these are child columns. I treat it like that, and root entity is person. So yes, we can do that. So like we have seen, this is the configuration is pretty straightforward. No major installation or hiccups like complex configuration we did in the on-prem. So once you start exploring the heart of our MDM, that is match and merge, you'll be more confident with the product also. So there's one question: is there any way we could get hands on like a trail version? So Archit, I would recommend you to reach out to the CSM or how you are interacting within Informatica. So there must be CSM or support team. So they can like take care of your request and provide you the preview prod for at least the trial version, right? So there are provisions, but reach out to the CSM, that is Customer Success Manager, allocated to your account, or the support team if CSM is not available. So there are certain provisions, exceptions, and we have given trial for few customers. Yes. And there are definitely Infra University trainings also are there. You can enroll yourself. Again, you need to reach out to CSM and get the training done on the configuration, on the outputs. So that will really help you get yourself enabled. We'll be providing you the trial version over there also for certain time, and you can get the hands-on specifically on across SaaS version. So we are moving very aggressively towards cloud, and likewise our customers from the MDM front. So that's why we intend to show this match and merge from the cloud version also, because we have seen a lot from the on-prem version. So, and it's pretty simple and straightforward, like the configuration specifically. Within maybe 10 minutes, we are ready with the deduplicate output, right, for fewer set of records. So you see how quick is to ingress the thing, ingress your records, get it match and merge indexed in, and publish the output to the downstream application. So this whole process can be automated as a one click from your CEI engine if you are using the ISCS, right? So all right, so I'll give you another 30 seconds. If you have more questions, you can post. Otherwise, that's fine.
Thank you for this amazing session, Kamal. We would like to inform that all Tech Tuesday webinar will be available on Success Portal under the Resources tab. Today's webinar will be available tomorrow, where you can view the recording and also download the slide deck. Please fill in the survey as your feedback is important to us. With that, we will end today's webinar. Thank you all for attending.